That's right.
I want people to understand voter fraud. Voter fraud is this here: impersonating fraud at the polls, false registrations,
Yes.
duplicate voting, fraudulent use of absentee ballots,
Yes.
buying votes, illegal assistance at the polls,
Yeah.
ineligible voting, like illegal aliens voting in this here, dead people voting,
Yeah.
altering the vote count, ballot petition fraud. Those are some of the fraudulent activities. And if any of those activities took place in this election, that is voter fraud.
That's right.
Now,
That's
there's
right.
a difference between voter fraud and election fraud.
That's
I
right.
just explained voter fraud, but election fraud is when you talk about the system.
The system.
Like the systems that's being used and how the votes are tabulated and
Yeah.
how the votes was pulled from Donald Trump and given to Biden. That's the fraud inside of the system.
That's right.
So it's two things that we look like we're fighting here.
It is.
It's voter fraud and election fraud.
So then that brings me to two questions that I have. I want to know, what was the legal reason for stopping the voting on election night? You know that everything all of a sudden came to a screeching halt.
Right.
You know, there was no natural disasters. There was no war or no act of terrorism. Was the machines broken? And then how did everybody decide to stop in several different states all at the same time?
Not only that, in Georgia, they was reporting 99%.
Yeah.
It should have been called for President Trump, and it was not.
Another thing, who authorized the removal of Trump votes, okay, at a particular time? The votes that was allocated to Trump. So, you know, when they're counting the votes, those votes are tallying up their additions. They're being added. But according to the timestamp entry from the New York Times, who got their data information from Addison Research, in Pennsylvania on November the 3rd at 11:08 p.m., President Trump all of a sudden lost 17,877 votes. It was removed from his count, while at the same time, Biden gained 17,930 votes. So what I want to know is if these votes were deleted or removed from President Trump's tally amount at 11:08 p.m. on November the 3rd, who authorized it?
Wow.
You know what I'm saying?
That's interesting.
What reason did they have to remove those votes?
That's an interesting concept. On top of that, I know you all are hearing about these judges.
Yes.
These judges in the lower courts, how they're ruling and they're not ruling in our favor. But here is the deal. This is going to have to go to the U.S. Supreme Court because constitutional laws was broken here. That's what I'm saying. It's up to the state legislators to put laws in place. You can't make backdoor deals.
Well, even down to the deal that was made with Abram and Reffenberger.
That's the Secretary of State.
Secretary of State. The state legislator is not the one that approved that. That was not done under the state legislator.
Right.
That was done under the election board.
Right.
That makes this here whole thing null and void.
That's
really.
right.
It's illegal.
It's illegal. It's illegal.
Yeah.
And with these judges, if they're not bringing enough, if an affidavit or hundreds of affidavits is not enough evidence, how about you bring in the millions of ballots and let's view the ballots let's distinguish which ones are real and which ones are fake.
Because all you got to do, if this is a ballot right here, all I got to do is look at it and then I pass it 5 feet over so it can get 6 feet to you so that you can now see the back.
To make sure it's accurate.
That's all we have to do.
That's all we asking for is fairness here. And we want to make sure that the integrity of our elections are intact.
That's right.